Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90 Day Fiance. Brandon insists on inviting his mom to baby shower. Will Julia let her in? 90 Day Fiance stars Julia and Brandon are preparing to celebrate their little one on the way. But things are about to get sour. Well, the latter is adamant about having his mother, Betty, join the baby shower. Yes, you read that right. Apparently, Betty and Julia haven't really been two peas in a pod. And viewers aren't even sure if she would let her mother-in-law enter. But that's not all. Brandon further begged his audience to help him because things are getting out of his hands. And he doesn't know how to handle it at all. Is this true? What is this all about? What did he reveal? Keep on reading to learn more about this controversy because the tea is really hot. 90 Day Fiancé star Julia isn't loving the way Betty has been trying to get involved in her and Brandon's lives. She made it clear that it was her house and Brandon's parents should know their limits. Moreover, the celeb further lost her calm when Betty interfered in her fertility appointments as well. They had a clash and things got bitter between them. Things don't end here. Brandon is the one who is stuck in this chaos. He isn't able to take a stand and choose between his mother and his wife. Hence, there have been several instances when viewers slammed him for not standing up for Ton, as most standing up for Julia. Both of them are clashing every time they meet, and they end up complaining about things to Brandon while the latter isn't able to take anyone's side. Julia is finally expecting, and she recently shared the happy news of her pregnancy with her 90 Day Fiancé viewers. After consulting several doctors and having issues with Brandon, the celeb is going to become a mother soon. And what comes before delivery? Yes, you guessed that right. It's a baby shower. Brandon wasn't able to figure out the dynamics and finally begged his audience to help him with it. Brandon recently took to Instagram, shared a couple of pictures with playful and eye-catching poses. They appeared to be really happy while Julia flaunted her baby bump. But here's the main thing. Brandon revealed that one of his friends was actually throwing them a baby shower. He noted that he had never been to a baby shower, and Julia also wasn't aware of what it was until now. Brandon asked his fans to help him with an idea, and what kind of food they could have and what kind of games they could play. He further wondered whether he should attend the baby shower or not. But here comes the main question. The celeb asked, "Can I bring my mom?" While this entire post appeared to be a happy and playful one. This last question raised many eyebrows. Several viewers took to the comments section and told Brandon to invite his mother, as she deserves to be there. They asked him to involve Betty as well during the entire process. What do you think? Do let us know in the comments. Keep coming back to for more updates. The sun hadn't even risen over Dinwiddie County when Brandon finally worked up the courage to bring up the subject that had been gnawing at him for weeks. Julia, 8 months pregnant and full of nerves and excitement, was curled up on the couch scrolling through lists of baby shower decorations. Pastel balloons, cupcakes topped with rattles, tiny diaper cakes. It was all so whimsical. But Brandon's mind was anywhere but whimsical. "Babe," he began softly, his voice hesitant. Julia lifted her gaze, her dark eyes narrowing. "You say babe like that, and I know something bad is coming." He chuckled nervously, rubbing the back of his neck. "It's not bad, just complicated," Julia groaned. "Brandon, what is it?" He took a deep breath. "I want to invite my mom to the baby shower." The words landed like a thunderclap. Julia sat up straighter, the phone dropping to her lap. "What?" she asked sharply. "Your mom? To our baby shower." For many couples, the question of inviting a grandmother-to-be wouldn't even be a question at all. But anyone who'd been following Brandon and Julia's 90 Day Fiancé journey knew that Betty, Brandon's mother, had a knack for inserting herself into every corner of their lives. From demanding that Julia help with farm chores when she first arrived from Russia to commenting on birth control and bedroom arrangements. Betty had earned herself the role of one of the most infamous TLC moms. And now, Julia was faced with the possibility of her mother-in-law being front and center at a day she hoped would finally be about her. "Julia, hear me out," Brandon pleaded, sliding closer to her. "She's going to be the baby's grandmother. She's excited, and she really wants to be there. She already asked me if she should bring her famous spinach dip. Julia rolled her eyes so hard she thought they might stick that way. Spinach dip. Brandon, this is not about food. This is about respect. This is about boundaries. This is about your mom making everything about herself. Flashbacks flickered in Julia's mind like scenes from a movie. Betty barging into their bedroom uninvited. Betty questioning Julia's choice of career. Betty asking if she was really ready to be a mother. The thought of her standing at the baby shower, smiling like she had orchestrated the entire event, made Julia's stomach twist more than morning sickness ever had. Still, Brandon was determined. She's my mom, Julia. I know she can be. A lot. But she loves me. She loves you even. If she has a weird way of showing a tan, she's going to love this baby. Don't you think it would be worse if she wasn't invited? She'd never forgive us. Maybe that's the point, Julia muttered under her breath. But Brandon caught it. Come on, that's not fair. You've always said family is important. Remember how upset you were when your parents couldn't be at our wedding because of the visa stuff? Well, this is her grandchild. Can't we just give her a chance? Julia leaned back, crossing her arms protectively over her growing belly. She knew Brandon had a point. Family didn't matter. She missed her own parents every day, missed her mother's advice and her father's silly jokes. But Betty wasn't her parents. Betty was a force of nature, and letting her into the baby shower felt like inviting a storm to a picnic. Meanwhile, TLC cameras were already circling the situation in a preview clip for the upcoming episode. Julia was seen venting to her friend Yara over FaceTime. She wants to come. Yara, she wants to stand there like queen of baby shower. Julia exclaimed, waving her hands dramatically. Yara smirked knowingly. Girl, I know this. Mother-in-law drama, it never ends. But listening, you don't invite her, you look like the bad guy. If you do invite her, at least you can control how much she is involved. Keep her away from the games. Hide the microphone. Julia laughed despite herself, though her frustration was clear. But what if she tries to plan everything? She already sent me links for centerpieces with little cows. Cows, Yara. Back on the farm, Betty was indeed preparing. Cameras captured her proudly pulling out baby clothes she had saved from when Brandon was little. I just know the baby will look so cute in this. She cooed, holding up a tiny onesie that had clearly seen better days. Ron, sipping his coffee in the background, shook his head with a knowing sigh. Just don't start another war with Julia, okay? But Betty, smiling mischievously, only replied, I'm just helping. She thanked me later. As the shower date approached, tension in the household reached a boiling point. Brandon found himself caught between the two women he loved most, pacing the living room late at night while Julia sulked in the bedroom. He wanted peace. He wanted happiness. But most of all, he wanted this baby to be born into a family that wasn't already fractured. The night before the shower, Brandon made his final plea. Julia, he said softly, kneeling in front of her. I don't want this to be a fight. This is supposed to be one of the happiest days of our lives. Please, let's just invite her. We'll set boundaries. I'll talk to her. I'll make sure she doesn't take over. But I need you to trust me on this. Julia studied his face, her anger softening. She could see the stress etched in his features, the boyish worry in his eyes. She remembered why she fell in love with him in the first place, his loyalty, his kindness, his hope that everything could somehow work out. Finally, with a heavy sigh, she nodded. Fine, she can come. But if she tries to steal my baby shower, I swear, Brandon, I will kick her out in front of everyone. And you will not stop me. Brandon grinned with relief, hugging her carefully. Deal. The day of the baby shower arrived. And the scene was pure TLC, gold. Friends and family gathered under a pastel canopy in the backyard. A table groaned with sweets, a mommy-to-be sash glittered on Julia's dress, and laughter filled the air. But when Betty walked in armed with her spinach dip and a stack of homemade baby trivia cards, the entire atmosphere shifted. Julia's smile froze, and the cameras zoomed in on her expression. Would she let Betty participate? Or would the drama explode right then and there? Only time and the next episode will tell. But one thing was certain. In true 90-Day Fiancé fashion, nothing about Brandon and Julia's journey to parenthood would be simple. Because when it comes to family, love, and boundaries, every baby shower is just another battlefield.